So you're looking to purchase your next investment property and someone's asked you, well, what type of property are you after? And you go, I'm not really sure. Well, that's called a buying strategy, is knowing what type of property you want to buy and what it's actually going to do for you to meet the goals that you want at the end of the day. This video is part of a series of videos that are just showing you what the different buying strategies that an investor can have when they're looking to purchase their next investment property. If you didn't see our previous video, that was on buy and hold and just the different things that you should look out for when you're looking for that type of property. In this video, I'm just going to show you a few tips that you should be using when you're using the buy, reno and hold strategy, or it could be a buy, reno and flip, depending upon what you actually want to achieve at the end of the day. Hi, I'm Karen from Kelly Property Consultants. I'm a buyer's advocate and I help property investors and homeowners get into property in regional New South Wales. So if you like what you see, hit the like button, subscribe to our channel and also hit the little bell notification so I can send you future videos as they come out weekly. So what is a buy, reno and hold strategy basically? It's being able to go and find a property, renovate it in some form, and the renovation, what we want to achieve from this is either to increase the weekly rental on it or to also manufacture some growth in the property. And we're doing that through just a cosmetic renovation. Now, you can actually purchase a property and have it either as a structural reno or a cosmetic one. But if you're on a budget and you just want something that you can increase the rent, say from $250 a week up to $300, it might be just going in and just doing a cosmetic renovation. But you need to find the right property to be able to do this type of thing. And that's something that we actually help our investors with, in finding the right property so that they can actually increase the rental return, so they're actually getting a better yield on the property. And our other aim is to actually increase the value of the property by doing this cosmetic renovation. Now, here's a few things that I think you should consider if this is the type of strategy that you want to use. Before you actually go and start researching the market, know what type of property you actually want to buy. Is it one for a cosmetic renovation or a structural renovation? Because the cost of either of these can be significant. If I was going to do a cosmetic renovation, I'd be looking at paintwork, maybe replacing some carpets, looking at the kitchen and bathroom, just small and minor things that you can quickly go in, do a reno, and either get a tenant in straight away or flip it if that's the type of property that you're after. The rule of thumb when it comes to a renovation is for every dollar that you spend, you should get a minimum of $2 back. Now, I'm greedy. I'd like to say we can get more than $2. But just as a rule of thumb, if you're going to go and spend money on, say, just painting the house, for example, you want to know that by freshly painting the house inside, if you've had to pay someone to do this, if you're not doing this yourself, these are costs that you want to be able to say, I can actually increase the rent. And these are things that you'll know from your own market research, whether or not having it freshly painted is going to help increase the rent or not. A few other things that you want to consider when you're actually researching the market to find this particular property is make sure it's in the right location. Make sure it's in a quiet street, not a busy thoroughfare. It's not at an intersection where there's lights and a lot of traffic, because these are things when you go to sell the property that will actually come against you. You might be thinking, look, I'm going to hold it for the next 15 years, but there will come a day that you actually want to sell the property. And if it is in a location that is a little bit undesirable, such as the traffic, or it may be close to train stations, little things like that that can actually give a negative feel about the property can come against you when you actually go to sell the property. So these are things to consider when you're looking for your property. When you're looking for a property that you're going to renovate, what's the street appeal like? If you go in and put new garden beds in, make sure that all of the plants are trimmed, the house is freshly painted, things like that, is it going to actually make the property look better? Because this is one thing when you actually go to sell the property, Or if you're going to put tenants in there, if they're driving past and it's an attractive looking property, it will immediately get the response that you're after. Either you'll get people wanting to live there as tenants, or you'll have people wanting to inspect the property to buy it if you're flipping the property. Other little things that you can do when it comes to your renovation, if you're not sure what are the colours that you should be putting in the house, what type of fitting, say you want to replace all the handles in the cupboards, things like that, you can actually go and inspect display homes. This is a great way of seeing what the latest colours are, what type of fittings are being put into properties, and these are things that you can actually then go and buy those type of things. They don't have to be top of the range. They can be a similar type of item, such as if you're changing taps in showers, sinks, at the kitchen sink, bathrooms, things like that. This is what they're using in display homes, and this gives you ideas on what you should be putting in your property so it's looking more modern and more up to date. Another thing that you need to do, if this is the type of strategy that you want to use, the buy, reno, and either flip or hold, is become the local expert. So know what houses are worth that have been renovated. So whether they're a 3-bedroom home, 4-bedroom home, whatever they may be, know what they're actually worth. Because if you're purchasing a property at a lower price point and it's in a similar area, you want to be able to say, well, I can purchase this property for a certain amount of money if I spend X amount on my budget on it, and whatever profit that you're after, plus all your costs to sell the property, this is what I can achieve at the end of it. If you're looking to hold the property long term, this is something that you want to know, because it may be your strategy to manufacture growth and to then be able to use that equity and purchase your next property after a while. So these are things that you really need to become the local expert. Know what houses are worth, whether they've been renovated or not renovated. So know what the rental market is. So you know that if you do go in and spend, say, $15,000 on a renovation, that you're actually going to then turn around and get a certain amount of return on that spend, because these are things that will actually help make the property profitable and to give you that great return that you're after. But if you think you don't want to be the local expert and you don't want to go and do all the research, that's when someone like me comes into the picture. We can actually help find the property for you, find exactly the type of property that you're after, just to make things a lot easier for you in the research area. So when it does settle, all you have to do is go in and do the renovation. One of the other big things that I find when doing this type of strategy, the buy, reno and hold, or buy, reno and flip, is make sure you stick to your budget. So when you're inspecting the property, make sure you list everything that you think you will be renovating, whether it's replacing carpets, cleaning carpets, painting walls, whatever it may be. Write it on your inspection report as you go through it, and then go away and try and do as detailed and itemised report as you can. By doing this, you're giving yourself the best chance of making the best profit you possibly can. So I hope these few tips will give you a little bit of help when it comes to finding your next buy, renovation and hold property. The biggest thing is make sure you thoroughly do your research. Know your numbers at the end of the day. And if you think that the numbers don't stack up and you're not going to get the profit that you're after, move on to the next property, because there's always going to be another property that will suit what you're after. Don't get emotional. Don't fall in love with the property, and don't overspend, because that's something will take away from you and your profit at the end of the day, or will actually lessen the equity that you're after if you're trying to manufacture your own growth. But if you like what you've seen in this video, hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and also hit the little bell notification for any future videos as they come out weekly. But if you ever need any help when it comes to finding your next property, whether you're an investor or a homeowner, there's a link below. Book an appointment today, and I'd gladly be able to help you in any way I can. So until the next buying strategy, I'll see you in the next video.